In an effort to spark his struggling club, Maple Leafs general manager Cliff Fletcher looked to acquire a piece of their past to make a push for the postseason.
The focus shifted from future stars to current stars, with the Maple Leafs and Nordique completing a huge 6-player deal. We'll get to the draft choices in a moment, but first of all, the deal.
I'd like to announce the following trade between Quebec and Toronto. Quebec trades to Toronto the 10th pick in the 1994 entry draft, which it received from Philadelphia, the rights to Matt Sundin, Todd Warringer, and Garth Butcher in exchange for Toronto's 22nd pick in the draft, the rights to Wendel Clark, Sylvain Lefebvre, and the rights to Landon Wilson.
June 28, 1994, the Toronto Maple Leafs shocked the hockey world, shipping Wendel Clark to the Nordiques in a blockbuster trade. While the deal was obviously a steal for Toronto, landing 23-year-old star center Matt Sundin, who already had a 100-point season under his belt in Quebec, it truly was a bittersweet transaction for Maple Leaf fans. To put this in perspective for younger folks, yes, it was a brilliant trade for Fletcher. However, you have to understand what homegrown Wendel Clark meant to Toronto at this time. Not only was he the captain, he was the heart and soul of the franchise and arguably its most popular player, maybe of all time. Displaying old-time toughness with his ferocious body checks and the willingness to take on anyone in a scrap. Everyone in Toronto loved Wendel Clark since he debuted as a 19-year-old kid, scoring 34 goals and registering 227 penalty minutes, and helping bring the franchise back from some darker times. And on top of the hits, fights, and emotional leadership, he was also coming off of huge back-to-back playoff performances and a career high of 46 goals thanks to great chemistry with centerman Doug Gilmour.
Everybody knows how I feel about my teammates, and they feel the same as me.
Fast forward 2 years later, near the 1996 trade deadline, Wendel Clark was now on Long Island, and the Toronto Maple Leafs were struggling. With a record of 26, 31, and 12, and in the midst of a terrible slump, only winning one game in the previous 11, Toronto was on the playoff bubble and dangerously close to losing the season. Cliff Fletcher didn't want to throw in the towel, and he knew this aging team needed a spark. And with playoff aspirations in mind, Fletcher would call up Islander general manager Mike Milbury. Captain Crunch was back.
In 1996, a mirror image, a veteran Leaf club also needing a kick. GM Cliff Fletcher hopes he has found the needed elixir, but again, a hefty price. To Toronto from New York, another legendary figure, Wendel Clark, and solid defender Matthew Schneider. Going to the Apple, 3 players and a high pick. The best of the players, Kenny Janssen, and a lot of future. In 1964, it worked. Deja vu all over again.
Very exciting, very new in some ways again. Anxious and a bit nervous in a way. It's been 2 years, and so it's I'm an 11-year rookie.
Waiting for the popular power forward in the lineup was Doug Gilmour, reuniting the combo that nearly led them to the Stanley Cup Finals a few seasons earlier. In his first game back in the blue and white, with nostalgia and hope electrifying the Toronto faithful, Wendel Clark did not disappoint.
Pick up the pictures and the sound as Wendel Clark makes his Maple Leaf return. Schneider, and now Murphy head off the ice on a player change, and Wendel Clark's back out there. The crowd will let you know every time he hits the ice. Kennedy has shot the puck in for Dallas. And now the Stars begin making changes as we watch Dave Ellett. Played it away from Marshall. That's Craig to Clark. To Gilmour on the left side. Clark to the front of the net. He shoots. He scores!
Five minutes and 41 seconds into the contest, the Magic returned as if it never left. With that long, thunderous Maple Leaf Gardens ovation, it was apparent Wendel Clark was home in a 3-0 win against the Dallas Stars. It was also apparent the Cliff Fletcher gamble would provide the emotional spark the franchise was searching. But would it translate into enough wins on the ice to make the playoffs? The former first overall pick in the 1985 draft ended the season very strong, scoring 8 goals and 15 points in just 13 games, with killer Doug Gilmour also contributing 15 points. The Maple Leafs went 7-4-1 down the stretch, leading to the final game of the season against the Edmonton Oilers. Win, and they get in. The rejuvenated Clark and Gilmour version 2.0 combo both came through, each scoring a goal and combining for a staggering 15 shots on net, helping the Leafs win and clinch a playoff berth for the 4th straight season. Mission accomplished? While it undoubtedly felt good for Toronto fans to see Doug Gilmour and Wendel Clark performing at such a high level again, and the trade did help the team make the playoffs, the inspiring lift was derailed in the first round by a familiar postseason foe in unfamiliar colors. St. Louis Blues' own deadline acquisition, Wayne Gretzky. The Leafs fell in 6, although Gilmour would lead the team in scoring with 8 points and Clark contributing 4 of his own. Now, let's talk about the damage for going all in. While Kenny Janssen did continue to be a very good puck-moving defenseman for the next 8 seasons, the true cost didn't materialize until the following year, which was a disaster for Toronto, without the benefit of owning their first-round selection, which was used to acquire their former captain. The Islanders selected Roberto Luongo with that pick. Finishing 4th to last in the league in the 1996-97 season, Cliff Fletcher made the mistake of trying to extend a cup-winning window that realistically had already closed. The Maple Leafs' last-ditch effort served as a band-aid on a problem that only getting younger could fix. Although, to Wendel Clark's credit, he was still very productive, scoring 30 goals in 65 games in his age 30 season, as well as Doug Gilmour scoring 60 points in 61 games, before kickstarting a rebuild by being traded to the New Jersey Devils and officially handing over the franchise to Mats Sundin. All in all, the idea of bringing back Wendel Clark and reuniting him with Doug Gilmour was great, as both performed very well in the surge to make the playoffs and the following season. And all those in attendance who witnessed a hero come home, it created an unforgettable moment. The idea wasn't bad, but the cost most certainly was. Thanks for watching. Please like and subscribe.